This is mumblecore, a mostly American cinematic movement from the early 2000s, which is defined by its low-budget DIY approach, naturalistic style and aimless characters navigating personal issues and relationships, exacerbated by their inability to properly communicate their desires. This is my animated short film His Warm Hands, which I made by myself for a budget of £0 and follows two young characters navigating their personal relationship which is strained by their inability to communicate their desires. While my film doesn't necessarily fit under the mumblecore umbrella due to its lack of dialogue, I was heavily influenced by the films of mumblecore directors such as Joe Swanberg, although more significantly by directors inspired by mumblecore such as Cooper Rife, Joel Haver, Mike Mills and Gunter Goldley. This is significant because in a medium such as animation where you can potentially do anything, deciding to adhere to a style that was born of financial and circumstantial restrictions that I'm not necessarily bound to lends the film a unique visual and narrative aesthetic that isn't often found in animation, while also allowing me to expand on it in ways that a live action film wouldn't be able to do. For example, I always made sure that the camera's position and movement would be possible using low-end equipment such as a Steadicam, tripod and shoulder rig, rather than something that a higher budget live action films would use such as a crane or dolly. I even added imperfections to the movement, like when the camera would be picked up from the tripod. However, due to my film being animated, I was able to do things I wouldn't be able to do in live action, such as use thermal photography with a stylized use of colour. I understand that some people might be critical of my intentional use of aesthetics that originate from imperfections due to the low budget of the films I've referenced, when I could easily avoid them. However, I would argue that although this style originally came from a place of genuine budgetary restriction, it can now be used as part of the cinematic vocabulary to communicate authenticity and intimacy in the same way that a close-up or a shallow depth of field can. And when juxtaposed with the surrealist imagery that is also found in my film, it can be used to a great effect. His Warm Hands is now available to watch on YouTube.